Greetings. You've landed at HouseLux Estate, your haven for self-improvement and growth. Here we explore topics that empower you to live a more fulfilled life. Today's topic is an essential life skill, yet often overlooked: the art of saying no without feeling guilty. It's about setting boundaries and prioritizing your well-being. It's not always easy, but it's absolutely necessary. Today, we're diving into the art of saying no without feeling guilty. Sounds challenging? Let's unravel it together. Have you ever found yourself agreeing to things you don't want to do? You're not alone. In a world where we're constantly juggling work, personal obligations, and social commitments, it's easy to fall into the trap of saying yes to everything, often at the expense of our own well-being. But it's essential to understand that saying no is not only okay, it's necessary. Imagine your time and energy as a currency. Every time you say yes to something, you're spending that currency. Now, if you're spending it on things that bring you joy, fulfillment, or progress, that's a wise investment. But if you're spending it on tasks, activities, or people that drain you, that's a poor investment. Saying no allows you to protect your currency, to prioritize how you spend it. It's about taking control of your time and energy and directing it towards things that truly matter to you. This is not selfish, it's self-preservation. Moreover, saying no is about self-respect. It's about acknowledging your limits and not stretching yourself thin to please everyone around you. It's about setting boundaries and letting others know that your time, your energy, and your comfort are valuable. And here's the beautiful part. When you start saying no to things you don't want to do, you create space for things you do want to do. You'll find you have more time for your passions, your loved ones, your self-care, and your rest. Let's also consider the impact on mental health. Overcommitting can lead to stress, burnout, and even depression. By saying no, you reduce these risks, nurturing a healthier, happier state of mind. Remember, saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you rude or unkind. It makes you a person who understands your worth, a person who respects your own needs as much as you respect others. So saying no isn't just about refusing something, it's about valuing your time, energy, and comfort. But what stops us from saying no? The answer, quite often, is guilt. Many of us grapple with guilt when we even think about uttering that tiny yet potent two-letter word, no. We often find ourselves ensnared in the trap of overcommitment, simply because we're too afraid to disappoint others. We fear the potential fallout, the possible damage to relationships, and the risk of being seen as selfish or unhelpful. The fear of disappointment is a powerful motivator. It's a universal human experience to want to please others and be liked. But when this desire forces us into a corner, making us say yes even when we want to say no, it can lead to resentment, stress, and burnout. Then there's societal pressure. We live in a world that praises the yes people, those who are always ready to take on more, always willing to help. Saying no is often seen as an act of rebellion, a deviation from the norm. We're conditioned to believe that constantly accommodating others is the hallmark of a good person, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Finally, we often mistake self-care for selfishness. We feel guilty prioritizing our own needs over others, believing it to be an act of selfishness. But there's a significant difference between being selfish and practicing self-care. The former is about disregarding others for personal gain, while the latter is about maintaining a healthy balance, ensuring that we're not depleting our own resources while trying to fill others' cups. In fact, saying no can be an act of kindness, both to ourselves and others. It prevents us from overextending ourselves and becoming resentful. And it also respects the other person's time and energy by not committing to something we can't fully invest in. As we navigate through the complexities of life, it's essential to remember that saying no is not a crime, nor is it a sign of weakness. Instead, it's a powerful tool for maintaining healthy boundaries and fostering mutual respect. It's high time we break free from these chains of guilt. Now, let's equip ourselves with some effective techniques to say no without feeling guilty. First off, be assertive. Assertiveness is not about being aggressive or dismissive. It's about communicating your needs clearly and respectfully. When you're assertive, you acknowledge the other person's request, but you also express your own needs. You might say something like, "I understand that you need my help with this project, but I'm currently swamped with other commitments. I won't be able to assist you." This straightforward approach leaves no room for misunderstanding, and it allows you to stand your ground without feeling guilty. Next, offer alternatives. If you can't fulfill a request, but you still want to be helpful, suggest another way to get the task done. Perhaps you know someone else who might be able to help, or you could propose a different time when you'll be less busy. For instance, I am unable to help you move this weekend, but I can recommend a reliable moving service. Or, I can't meet you for lunch tomorrow, but how about next week? By offering alternatives, you're demonstrating that you still care about the other person's needs, which can help to alleviate any feelings of guilt. Another technique is to be concise. You don't need to offer lengthy explanations or justifications for your decisions. The more details you provide, the more opportunity there is for the other person to try and change your mind. A simple, "I'm sorry, but I can't," is often enough. Also, delay your response. If you're put on the spot and you're struggling to say no, it's okay to ask for time to think about it. You might say, "Can I get back to you on that?" This gives you a chance to consider the request without feeling pressured, and it makes it easier to say no later on if you decide that's the best course of action. Finally, practice self-compassion. This means recognizing that it's okay to prioritize your own needs and that you're not responsible for everyone else's happiness. It might feel uncomfortable to say no at first, but with time and practice, it will become easier. Remember, you're not a bad person for setting boundaries. In fact, taking care of yourself is a sign of self-respect and maturity. One more thing, always remember that your value is not determined by how much you do for others. It's determined by who you are as a person. So don't let the fear of disappointing others prevent you from doing what's best for you. Remember, it's not about being rude or unkind, it's about respecting your boundaries. So, what happens when you master the art of saying no without feeling guilty? Well, let's delve into the benefits that this skill can bring into your life. Imagine a life where you're not constantly weighed down by obligations that you didn't want to commit to in the first place. A life where you have the freedom and time to focus on things that truly matter to you. This, my friends, is the power of saying no. In your personal life, saying no can lead to improved relationships. It may seem counterintuitive, but when you're honest about your limits, people respect you more. Your relationships become more genuine because you're not just agreeing for the sake of pleasing others. In your professional life, saying no can boost your productivity. By declining tasks that are outside your scope or that you simply don't have time for, you're able to concentrate on your key responsibilities. You become more efficient and your performance improves. But perhaps the most profound impact is on your self-esteem. Saying no is a statement of self-respect. It's you acknowledging your own worth and setting boundaries. It's you taking control of your life. And this sense of empowerment, it's priceless. The art of saying no isn't about being selfish or rude. It's about understanding your worth and making choices that honor your needs and aspirations. When you say no to others, you say yes to yourself. We've navigated the art of saying no without feeling guilty, an essential skill for a healthier and happier life. Today, we explored why saying no is so crucial, how guilt often clouds our judgment, and the techniques to overcome this guilt. We've seen how saying no, without feeling guilty, can truly transform our lives. It can help us prioritize our needs, set boundaries, and foster healthier relationships. This isn't just about saying a two-letter word, it's about respecting ourselves, our time, and our energy. It's about taking control of our lives and making choices that serve us best. Remember, saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a more authentic, self-assured individual who values their well-being. Thank you for joining us at House Lux Estate. Remember, saying no is saying yes to a better you. Don't forget to subscribe for more enlightening content. Until next time.